YouTube, how's it going? I am back with an updated post free agency, post big name free agency mock draft. 2 rounds, predicting the pick, unlike my 7 round team by team mocks where it's kind of like I'm playing GM. This is more predicting the pick. Um, but yeah, go ahead and follow our Twitter, frogs_angels. Always covering the NFL. I may just tweet out something before it ends up being a video, like my big board, my top 5 and positions. I always tweet out stuff like that when we get closer to the draft. So you might get a sneak peek at something before it actually becomes a video, but it will become a video most likely. But let's get into this draft. We got the first pick is the Browns, of course. The question is Saquon Barkley or quarterback. I really believe it's going to be a quarterback, and I think it's going to be Mr. Sam Darnold over there. I don't love the pick, but if there's a team that should take Darnold, I look at a team like the Browns, maybe not in stage 1 of rebuild mode after their moves in the offseason. Definitely not stage 1 of rebuild, but they're close to that rebuild mode. So it makes sense they go Sam Darnold, a guy with the tools, a guy with the potential. But I think this is Darnold. It could be Darnold, Rosen, or Allen before it's Barkley, I think. I think they're just going to go quarterback. That's what it sounds like. And a lot of people think it's going to be Barkley, but they have a shot at getting him at 4. Maybe they try to move up, but there's really no one to move up with. Maybe the Giants at 2. We will see. But number 2, the Giants go Saquon Barkley, running back, Penn State. A lot of experts or former GMs or scouts seem to think it's going to be 1, 2, 3 quarterback. People around the league that aren't the Giants or that are picking in the top 3 seem to be 1, 2, 3 quarterback. But I think Barkley, if he's there at 2, I think the Giants take him. I think Shermer loves his solid running backs that could catch the ball to the backfield. He can't resist maybe even using them a little too much. I think the Giants are close with him. They had some good meetings with them. I think if Barkley's there, the Giants go with them. But it could be Rosen. Definitely could be Rosen. But on to the third pick, which is now the Jets after that trade. Interesting because do they know who their guy is? Are they good with multiple guys? I think it's Josh Rosen, quarterback UCLA. It looks like it's Baker Mayfield because they met with him several times, but it can't be that simple. It can't be that obvious. I think teams will like Rosen. Some think he has a ceiling of Aaron Rodgers, which is just outstanding. Is he going to be as good as Aaron Rodgers? Most likely not, but I mean, he's a good quarterback. He's got a good arm. So I like the Jets taking Rosen there, and I think it will happen. Maybe they try to trade up again. We will see. Do they have the ammo for that? And then number 4, the Browns go Bradley Chubb, edge rusher for NC State. So that Jets trade really changes things up there. Matching Chubb up with Myles Garrett is just scary. Great for the future. I like it a lot. Pass rush, most important thing in football these days. So I just would love that pick. The Broncos at 5. I got them going Josh Allen. They got Case Keenum. He will be their starter. They traded away Trevor Siemian. So we're looking for the quarterback of the future. I don't think Siemian was it anyways, but it's Allen or Mayfield. Mayfield's better right now. I think he's just better in general. But Allen, you got to love the kid's potential. You got to love his arm strength, his movement outside the pocket for his size. You got to love it, even though this is high in my opinion. But I think this is Elway's type of quarterback for the future. So I went with Allen here. But then the 6th pick was the Colts because they traded back to 6. But I had the Bills trading up. I don't really like to do trades in these videos, but I just truly think the Bills are going to trade up, especially if Baker Mayfield's sitting here. Colts gather more picks, but mainly if Bradley Chubb's not there, the Colts could trade back. If Bradley Chubb's there, I think the Colts stay right at 6 and take Bradley Chubb. They're switching to a 4-3. Bradley Chubb fits right in at that 4-3. But I have the Bills trading up, getting Baker Mayfield, quarterback, Oklahoma. Now, I didn't change the Colts or the Bills, the rest of their picks here in this trade. I didn't want to get confusing. We kind of want to get an idea of what those teams might go with those other picks. So I didn't give the Colts any extra picks. Obviously, they would. Would it be the Bills' other first rounder? Would it be a package of different picks that didn't include the first rounder? Would it be 1 second rounder with the next year first? It could be any of those things. But again, I just wanted to do this because I know the Bills will trade up, and we're going to keep the other team's picks just to give an idea of what they might go. So Baker Mayfield to the Bills. The quarterback from Oklahoma, my number 1 quarterback in the draft at the moment. Number 7, the Bucks go Derwin James, DB from Florida State, can play safety, can play other positions, but I expect him to be at safety. The Bucks need some pass rush. They did get some good D linemen in offseason, maybe not the best guys, but they do need DBs pretty badly. Derwin James is a solid safety freak of a guy. It sounds like decent amount of teams in the top 10 prefer Derwin James over Minkah Fitzpatrick because you really don't know Minkah Fitzpatrick's position. And I do, but Derwin James, heck of a player, so I think the Bucs go with him. And then 8, the Bears, too good to pass on Quentin Nelson, offensive line from Notre Dame. Maybe the best player in the draft, maybe the most sure thing in the draft. He would start at guard right away, obviously. They got Notre Dame offensive line coach over there, so it's going to be hard to resist. Makes sense. They do need linebackers more, I think. They could use another receiver as well, could use another corner as well. But, I mean, get protection for Trubisky, open up that run game. He's a game changer on the O-line. You can't really say that every draft has a game changer on the O-line. So maybe too good to pass, even though there's another guy I can think of that would maybe be too good to pass. That would be Tremaine Edmonds or maybe even Roquan Smith. But we're going on to the next 8 picks. Tremaine Edmonds goes to the Niners at 9. They did a good job in free agency. This can be a number of things, but I don't think Lynch would pass on a guy like Tremaine Edmonds. Freakish guy, can play inside, can play outside. He probably could play on the line at DN, but probably won't be doing that. He's just a freak guy, 19 years old only. One of my top players in the draft. I'm having a hard time singling out who my number 1 player in the draft is, but he's up for discussion. I like him that much. So Edmonds to the Niners, don't think they would pass on him. The Raiders at 10, don't pass on Minkah Fitzpatrick, DB from Alabama. Rumors are top 10 teams aren't as high as the media is on Fitzpatrick. I like Fitzpatrick a lot. Very smooth, knows the technique at any of the positions, safety, corner, or in the box. The Raiders seem pretty set at safety, and I do like him at safety the most, but keep in mind, the Raiders did get the Alabama defensive back coach in there, so I don't think they pass on Fitzpatrick. I think they play him in the slot, in the box, whatever you want to call it there. I think he plays at a high level there, and it's very, very important. So I don't think he gets by this pick, even though the rumors are that some teams in the top 10, not all teams, don't really like him as much as people think. I don't think he gets by this point, even though it's pick number 10. Good value there. I don't think they pass on him. Number 11, the Dolphins go Roquan Smith, a linebacker from Georgia. Another guy, I don't see him getting past this point. Solid linebacker, can play at a high level. Great awareness, great at reading plays, coming up and making a stop in the backfield. The Dolphins need linebackers. They could be looking at quarterback. They could be looking at O-line, maybe receiver. But linebacker is a big need, and Roquan Smith come in there and just help him right away. Even if it wasn't a big need, he can help any team. So I don't think he gets by that point. So I had the Colts trade him back to 12 with the Bills because I'm just assuming the Bills are going to trade up somewhere unless the quarterbacks are just gone instantly. First 4 picks, which is unlikely, depending on trade movement. But so the Colts trade back here. Interesting situation because they need pass rush really bad. They need quite a bit of things. But Vita Vea may be too good to pass at D tackle from Washington. I think he can play 4-3 D tackle. I think he can play nose tackle in 3-4. Colts switching to 4-3, so I think he plays the D tackle spot in 4-3, obviously. Some scouts believe he's the top player in the draft or one of the top players in the draft, so I don't see him getting by 12. This could be Marcus Davenport. This could be Harold Landry. I do like those guys a lot, but maybe with a good amount of needs. And Vita Vea could also get after the quarterback, maybe not as much as the actual pass rushers, but I don't think they pass on him. It's tough because maybe the pass rush isn't going to be there in the second round, but they got so many picks. And Vita Vea, you don't really see a guy like that with his size and athleticism. I mean, right at the end of the college season, I was doing mock drafts, and at that point, I'm only going off based off of what I seen live and maybe some production, even though production it's not what it's all about. It matters a little bit. So Vita Vea wasn't that high for me because maybe not the most production at the time. But after going back and looking, he was double teamed more than anybody I've seen in college in a long time for an interior D lineman. He was double teamed so much. So very impressive what he was able to do while being double teamed. So it's either you're going to have to double team in the NFL too, and then that opens up for some pro skilled pass rushers, and they get some action in there. So it's going to help the other team, bottom line, and he's a good player. 13, I think I had this last mock. Redskins go Denzel Ward, corner, Ohio State. I don't think he gets by this point. There's some talk of him going to that 4 to 8 range. I could see it, but I have him dropping here because the other talent, and I still think, even though he's a really good player at the corner, but height doesn't really matter to me, but it seems like teams really prefer the 6 foot to 6'1" corners, but he plays like he's that big. So he drops maybe a little bit. If he does, it's because of that reason. But good player. Very good combine. I like him a lot going to the Redskins. Too good to pass. And then back-to-back corners here. The Packers go Josh Jackson, corner from Iowa. They lose Randall. I mean, they traded him. They didn't really lose him. They weren't really a big fan of him. They got Kevin King, but they need another corner. They seem to be pretty desperate for another corner because they tried to get Kyle Fuller for a pretty big contract from the Bears, which was kind of like last option for them after trying to get Sherman or Tremaine Johnson. So they need Josh Jackson. They're going to like his length. It's really hard that there's three corners that it's very hard to split up in this draft. Denzel Ward, Josh Jackson, Jair Alexander, who I really like Jair Alexander from since last year. Been one of my favorite prospects. It's really hard to split them up, but Jackson just has the ball skills. Coaches want to coach their technique, and they'll like that in Jackson, that they can coach up their technique, and he already has the ball skills in place. So I think the Packers will like him. I think they'll go corner here. It should be defense, really. 15, Cardinals. Another one staying the same from my last mock. Marcus Davenport, edge rusher, Texas San Antonio. This is a Steve Wilks guy. I really believe it. Steve Wilks is going to want to go defense. He's going to make sure that defense is fully built, which it's on its way already, even though they got rid of Tyrann Mathieu. So maybe DB here, but Tyrann Mathieu didn't really fit Steve Wilks' defense, so that's why they wanted to take a pay cut. Davenport's his type of guy. He's going to play him right on the end. I prefer him at defensive end there over outside linebacker. He's going to like him. It's going to be hard for him to pass on him. Maybe it's a Harold Landry, same style player. But I think I think Wilks is going to like him. Maybe they need quarterback. They signed Bradford and Glennon. They gave Bradford a big deal, so it's hard, a $40 million deal. So even though he's probably going to get hurt, I hate saying that because he's a good quarterback if he doesn't get hurt. So that's the upside for the Cardinals, and he has Larry Fitzgerald, David Johnson. So, but it's hard to see them drafting or trading up for a quarterback. If one drops here, then all day. If like a Baker Mayfield or Josh Allen drops here, I like Lamar Jackson, but I don't know if they go with him. Or Mason Rudolph too. I like him as well, but I don't think they go with him at 15. I don't think they trade up is my point. 16, the Ravens go Calvin Ridley, wide receiver, Alabama. Not my number one wide receiver, but it seems like from what I've heard from scouts around the league that Ridley is most likely the number one receiver off the board. Again, not my number one receiver, but I think he's good. I think he can help a team. Even though they got Crabtree, they're looking at maybe getting another receiver in free agency, maybe. I still think they want to get a younger guy that can play for them for a long time. So they go Ridley. Next picks, 17, Chargers, Rashaan Evans, linebacker, Alabama. I like Rashaan Evans a lot. The Chargers really are a pretty balanced team. They can use a linebacker. They can use interior D-line maybe. Evans too good to pass, and he can come in there and start right away for Gus Bradley. I like him a lot there. That would be an excellent pick for them. If he's there, I think he's worthy of a better pick than that, but he very well could be there. 18, Seahawks, Darius Geis, running back, LSU. I really don't know what the Seahawks are doing this offseason. I don't know what they're going to do in this draft. I think Darius Geis may be the best player on the board, and they need a big-time running back. Finally, maybe they get one. Maybe they go O-line finally. Kind of been resisting going those positions, just kind of building that defense. Now they trade away the defense. So maybe they're going with the offense approach now, clearing space to give Russ some weapons finally. So I went with Darius Geis there. 19, the Cowboys, Cortland Sutton, wide receiver, SMU. They need defense, but Cortland Sutton's going to be too good to pass. I think they're going to really like his big play potential. Maybe similar to Dez Bryant, but maybe it's getting near the end of Dez Bryant in Dallas, but he's there for now. Cortland Sutton's going to be the new guy. He's my number one receiver. It's not even close either. I like Cortland Sutton a lot. The only thing we were concerned about was his speed, and he ran in the 4.5s. That's good enough for me. People forget 4.5s is for his size too. Even if it was a smaller guy, 4.5s is fast. I know people are waiting for those 4.2s, 4.3s, but it's not like he ran in the 4.6s. So this guy can move, and he's just an excellent wide receiver. Threat all over the field, not just on the sideline or the deep ball, the jump ball. He can do more than just that, I think. So Cowboys would be lucky to have him. Lions go Harold Landry, edge rusher from Boston College. I like Harold Landry a lot. Better value than the 20th overall pick. Patricia over there, I don't think we'll be able to resist. He can play 4-3 he can play 3-4 outside linebacker, whatever he decides to do over there. I know they've been a 4-3 team, but we'll see what he decides to do. But Landry can help you either way. He's too good to pass on. I think you'll love to have him. Number 21, the Bengals trade back to 21 with the Bills. They go James Daniels, center/guard, Iowa. This guy is good. He's good at center. He's good at guard. Has experience at both. The Bengals could use either one, but I think they can use a day one starter at center like Daniels. So I like this pick a lot. I like the fit. 22, the Bills go Leighton Vander Esch, linebacker, Boise State. Getting a lot of buzz lately. I like him, but I don't know if I'm as high on him as everybody else. I do think he's a late first rounder, but people are getting really hyped over him. He's good. Don't get me wrong, but I do think he goes around this range. The Bills did a good job getting some D linemen in general. Could use more, but linebacker maybe more important. So here you go. 23, the Rams. They need linebackers or pass rush. The Rams go Josh Sweat, edge rusher from Florida State. This guy, maybe a week or two ago, I really watched the tape on him, sat down, evaluated him. I like him a lot. This guy is a freak, not just in speed and size, but he knows how to play the edge position, whether it's 4-3 end or 3-4 outside linebacker. I think the Rams will like this guy. I think he ends up going first round. I think he'll be that Robert Quinn replacement, and he'll be better than Robert Quinn. The only thing that's scary to me here is I do prefer him on the 4-3 defensive end spot. This would be 3-4 outside linebacker, but the Rams do it a little different. I think you come up on the line a little bit. I like what the Rams do on their defense there. Wade Phillips, good defensive coordinator, good defensive mind, so I like it here. Some compare him to Barkevius Mingo. That is a little scary because I do see the comparisons, but I think Sweat is definitely better. 2 injuries in his past. That's a little bit of risk too. So he has some risk with him, but a very, very high ceiling, freakish guy. I like him a lot. 24, the Panthers go DJ Chark, wide receiver LSU. Maybe a little early, but the Panthers are missing that speed they had with Ginn. Really just speed in that receiving core, a guy that can go play outside or play slot intermediate routes. He really can do it all. They're kind of missing that. They want that back. So I think they can go DJ Chark here. It'd be a solid pick, even though maybe a little early, but it makes them better for sure. 25th pick, Titans go Arden Key, edge rusher LSU. I really should have put outside linebacker here because a lot of these guys, like we discussed, Josh Sweat, Harold Landry, they can be 4-3 DNs. They can be 3-4 outside linebackers. I think Arden Key is just going to be a 3-4 outside linebacker. I think it's plain and simple there. I think he's good. If he's at his right weight, I know some teams want him to be heavier. I think he plays good where he's at right now. He cut it down since the end of the season. I like where he's at. Leonard Floyd comparisons, I like those comparisons. Key has better upside, I think, actually, but a little bit concerns, off the field concerns too, injury. But he's a good player. He's a first-round talent. Titans would love to plug him in at outside linebacker, rushing the passer there. Falcons go Deron Payne, D-tackle Alabama, that Dontari Poe replacement for the future. Deron Payne is a good value here at 26. They would love to have him. 27, I made it happen here. The Saints go Lamar Jackson, quarterback Louisville. I love Lamar Jackson. This would be just absolutely scary for the future. Him with Kamara, Michael Thomas. You know he would end up being good. You just know it. Playing behind Breeze. A little bit different, hard to game plan against. Very dangerous player. I think he's worthy of a much better pick than 27, but I think he goes down here. Maybe somebody trades up for him from the second round. But he ended up falling here, so I had the Saints going with him here. The Saints do like Baker Mayfield. Could look out for them trading up to get Mayfield, but they're not going to trade up too far because they do need some defensive help, so they don't want to trade away too many picks. 28, the Steelers go Jair Alexander, corner from Louisville. I like him a lot. Good combine, good plays on the ball there, really all over the place if you watch the film on him. He's really just got it all. He's got the attitude. He can return punts too. Steelers need a linebacker. They're in a tricky spot. Maybe they have to trade out for a linebacker, but they also need DBs here. So they go Jair Alexander, the corner from Louisville. This would be a great pick at 28. 29, the Jags go DJ Moore, wide receiver from Maryland, a high riser. He's my number 2 receiver on the board currently, but really that 2 through it's almost like 8 range is very, very close. But DJ Moore, his ability to play in the slot and outside, I really like a lot. Very good after the catch, very smart receiver. So I like Moore. The Jags lose Allen Robinson and Allen Hurns. So I like them getting DJ Moore. Can make that offense scarier than it is. Dynamic player. Number 30, the Vikings get Isaiah Wynn, offensive lineman, Georgia. I was surprised I had Isaiah Wynn on the board, so I was saying he's going to go earlier in this. But he somehow ended up being here. This is like a dream guy for the Vikings, either Isaiah Wynn or Connor Williams, who's still on the board. I think they would love to have either one. They're going to need to fill out some offensive line in this draft early, possibly another corner. We will see. But Isaiah Wynn, I think they would love to have in Minnesota. 31, Patriots go Connor Williams. There you go. There's your new tackle. Could also play guard as well. This could be McGlinchey if he's on the board. But I went with Connor Williams, the offensive lineman from Texas. And 32, interesting pick here. The Eagles go Lorenzo Carter, edge rusher from Georgia. You might be saying another pass rusher, really? Well, the Eagles on paper, well, not just on paper, but are the best team in football, winning the Super Bowl, and on paper they're the best team, and they even upgraded on the D-line. They don't really have huge needs, and I think Lorenzo Carter being a guy that he played 3-4 outside linebacker. He played on the line at times too, so teams, it's obvious. It's not just team C can play 4-3 end. He can play 4-3 end too, but some teams think he can play that 4-3 outside linebacker spot. So he's an interesting player, freak size and speed, strong, maybe not that good in the run game. So that's why he's not going way earlier in this. Maybe not that good in the run game, play him on third downs. But the Eagles could afford to take this risk here. They've been trying to move on from Kendricks. Kendricks is pretty good, but they've been trying to trade him. I don't know if those are rumors just in the past multiple times. So maybe they give him a try at that spot there for the future. Maybe they use him at D end. He can do multiple things with this guy, and he'll be good, especially on the Eagles. So the Eagles are a team that can afford to do this. This guy's getting a lot of buzz lately. He could sneak into the first round. So that's the first round. Now we're on to the second here. First pick in the second round, the Browns go Mike Hughes, corner from UCF. It could easily be a first-round pick, getting a lot of buzz. I think the top three corners that I discussed already are definitely better than him. I mean, not by a lot. Mike Hughes can definitely play, good returner too, good athlete. But I like Mike Hughes here with the first pick of the second round. The Browns get a quarterback, Bradley Chubb, now Hughes. The Giants go Mason Rudolph, quarterback, Oklahoma State. I wouldn't think it was a bad pick if somebody took him first, but I think he goes early second. I mean, somebody could trade in. Some team that needs a quarterback could trade in the end of the second round. Maybe it's the Giants, but Mason Rudolph, I think Shermer will like Rudolph. I think he can play. I think he's better than Davis Webb easily. So I think get him. Maybe he's the quarterback of the future. Does have a little Sam Bradford in him, so I think that's why I think Shermer will like him. Browns go Ronald Jones, running back, USC. They're putting together a good draft, even though I really don't like Sam Darnold. They get his running back there. I think he could start day one at running back, even though they have Hyde, so they get a little competition going in there. I like that pick a lot. I have a first-round grade on Ronald Jones as well as Sony Michel, so it'd be a good pick down here. Colts, back-to-back picks, go Mike McGlinchey, offensive lineman, Notre Dame. Could be a first-round player, but I think could struggle in pass protection a little bit, but don't get me wrong, good player, will be good. And then they go Sony Michel, running back, Georgia. Sony Michel, I have a first-round grade on. I think he starts day one at running back for the Colts. That would be an excellent pickup. But again, here we are again with no true pass rusher. Could gather a bunch of picks, but it's a tough situation with the pass rush. They may have to skip out and go on Vita Vea and go Davenport or Harold Landry there in the first. Tough decision. Best available, though, I always prefer, as long as you could use that player and he can help you. Bucks go Carlton Davis, cornerback from Auburn. I like Carlton Davis a lot, discussed in the past. He's a lockdown corner with good size. If somebody took him in the first, it'd be a good pick. Bears at 39, they don't take a linebacker, which they desperately need in the first, but they still end up with a good talent, Malik Jefferson, linebacker from Texas. People view him more as a 4-3 linebacker, but I think he can easily play in that 3-4, play on the inside there for them, so they can use his talents. I think he has a late first-round talent, but could drop a little bit. Broncos go Will Hernandez, offensive lineman, UTEP. Another guy can sneak in late first. Broncos would love to have him here with the 40th pick. 41, the Raiders go Dorian O'Daniel, linebacker from Clemson, one of my favorite players in the draft. This guy is an excellent linebacker. If he went late first, I think it would be an okay pick, but he's getting no first-round talk. Most likely won't go first round. But he just really, I can't really find any weaknesses for him. Maybe he doesn't wow in anything, but you don't really see a linebacker like this that can cover downfield as well. I think the Raiders would love to have him over there. Need a linebacker, missed out on going one in the first, so they get O'Daniel here in the second. The Dolphins go Justin Reed at 42, the safety from Stanford. A lot of buzz on him lately. Solid safety. Dolphins could use him for the future. Maybe too good to pass as well because he could go late first. 43, the Patriots go Dante Jackson, a corner from LSU. I like Dante Jackson a lot. And maybe he's that. The Patriots miss Logan Ryan. Maybe he's that Logan Ryan guy. Why do I say he's a Logan Ryan guy? Because Logan Ryan played inside. He played outside, both at a high level. Is more of that slot guy, better in that situation, I should say. Dante Jackson come in and play in the slot right away. But he also can play outside. You don't really see too many guys like that. It's a rare guy. Maybe Minka Fitzpatrick is a guy, like elite guy that can do that, but some teams view him as just a safety. Dante Jackson I like a lot. If you're just talking outside corner, yeah, there's some outside corners that rank ahead of him in the first round, but if you combine his slot, his nickel skills with his outside, people can value him more than those other guys. So, and he's got the speed. He's a good player. I'd love to see him on the Patriots. Redskins get Taven Bryan, defensive lineman, Florida. This is where it shows that this draft class is pretty darn good. Taven Bryan viewed as a late first rounder, but drops a little bit because of the other talent. The Redskins would just love to have this guy in there. I like him at 3-4 end, but he also can play 4-3 D tackle. Good player with a lot of upside. Needs some coaching. Packers go James Washington, wide receiver, Oklahoma State. I love this guy in the Packers. Really can do it all. I mean, he only reason he drops is because his route tree at Oklahoma State spread. Nobody really likes that Oklahoma State spread offense going to the next level. So he wasn't really it was pretty much just post every play. But his ability to catch the ball, great hands, great speed, great after the catch, way to go up and high point the ball. He's a good receiver. The Packers love to have him after losing Jordy Nelson. The Bengals at 46 go Ronnie Harrison, safety from Alabama. Another guy that could be considered a late first-round talent. Good safety, good at reading plays and coming up and making play. Good tackler. I like Ronnie Harrison a lot. Bengals would love to have him there. Could use an upgrade at safety. 47, the Cardinals go Michael Gallup, wide receiver, Colorado State. That's 2 picks without a quarterback. They have next year to get one too. And they paid Bradford a lot of money. He is good if he's not hurt. But they need another receiver. Michael Gallup's like a do-it-all guy, great hands. Just like James Washington and Michael Gallup, they're the best hands in the draft class, in my opinion. Michael Gallup can play. That's a good pick at 47. 48, Harrison Phillips, D-lineman, Stanford, to the Chargers. Good D tackle. Should be a straight-up 4-3 D tackle, but really could be used in multiple different ways if you needed him to. I think the Chargers can use an interior D-line, and it's just too good to pass at this point. He could be considered as a late first-rounder. 49, another guy that dropped, surprising drop, Sam Hubbard, DN from Ohio State. I like Sam Hubbard. The Colts there, they finally get their pass rush. Maybe not the most exciting player, maybe not the fastest pass rusher, but he's a very good player. This would be a good value pick here. 50, the Cowboys get their interior D-line here with B.J. Hill, D-tackle from NC State. This guy can play. He's moving up draft boards. Could possibly go earlier in this. Very athletic for his size, in my opinion. 51, the Lions get their running back in Kerryon Johnson, running back from Auburn. For his size, I'm impressed with his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, but obviously a good runner too. I think the Lions will like him. They have quite a few running backs, like average to just barely above average running backs on their roster. So I don't know if I see them going one in the first round and they need to go defense the first round, but they'll get one somewhat early, and they'll make sure they get a guy that can play. At 52, I think I've had this pick for a while. Ravens go Dallas Goedert, tight end from South Dakota State. Very athletic tight end. He's my number 1 tight end in the class. Could go late first, but the other talent maybe pushes him down. The Ravens can for sure use his talents there. 53, the Bills go Isaiah Oliver, corner from Colorado. Bills can use another corner of the future. I know they got Vontae Davis, but they need his replacement in the near future. It's always good to have multiple corners too. Tre'Davious White's obviously their main guy. Great rookie season, great draft pick from last year. But here's the thing with Oliver. Long corner, just excellent at pass deflections. Excellent at making sure the receiver don't catch the ball. Maybe the best in the draft class at it for the corner position. I'm very worried about his tackling. Now, it could be coached what his problem is, but I think he can tackle. It's just the technique in the way he goes about it. Maybe he doesn't want to tackle. There is some, with his tape, there is some highs. Like there are some damn good highs, but then the tackling lows are very, very low. They look bad. So I think he could go late first because of potential. It's a little scary though, a little scary. But I don't think he gets out of the second. But maybe that's why I have him dropping to 53. Is because some teams may be scared of that, but I think it's coachable. It's like sometimes you see it and the guy just does things on his own that maybe it's not coachable, but I think somebody can get in his head and get it right, get it fixed here. So I do like Oliver. I do like his upside, but a little scary, a little risky. 54, the Chiefs go Jesse Bates, a third safety in Wake Forest. Couldn't believe I had him on the board. I have a first-round grade on Jesse Bates, just definition of a playmaking defensive back. And if he gets the ball in his hands, he may be gone. He's going to get you good field position. He's a punt returner as well. The Chiefs can use another safety with Barry back there, just another DB in general. I think he can play either safety spot, too. That's what I like about him. I think he can play. I could see him playing. Not that he's going to play corner. Not that I would put him at corner. I can just see him playing on the outside of corner. I can see him playing in the box. Haven't seen anybody say that, but I know that he can play either safety position. I like him a lot. 55, the Panthers go Anthony Averett, corner from Alabama. Could use another pass rusher, but really not one that fits them here. Worthy of the pick. So another corner in Averett. They're at 55. 56, the Bills go Christian Kirk, wide receiver A&M. They can use another receiver. Why I like him going to the Bills, he can play slot, he can play outside. He has potential to be a better pro than he was in college, production-wise, but the Bills will like him there. 57, the Titans go Deshaun Hand, D-line, Alabama. I think Vrabel will like him. I like him a lot at that 3-4 end spot. There's rumors that Daquan Jones could be moving into nose tackle for them. Maybe that's only if they get Ndamukong Suh, which they did not acquire at the time of recording this video. But Hand, he's going to play 3-4 end for them. They'll like him a lot. I think he's good. He was highly recruited out of high school. Some scouts and GMs value that a lot. Some don't at all. But I think he'll be a better pro than he was in college. I think they'll like him there for Tennessee. 58, the Falcons go Mike Gesicki, tight end, Penn State. Very athletic tight end. He's kind of on the rise. I like him there. I like him on the Falcons. Falcons need a big play tight end like that and a more athletic guy. I think they can use him nicely in their offense, get it back to the best in the league where it could be. 59, the Niners go Deshaun Hamilton, wide receiver, Penn State. Niners could use another receiver. I like Deshaun Hamilton a lot. They'll like him a lot. Maybe the best route runner in this draft. And as I said before, the biggest struggle for receivers, the reason they end up being bust or struggle to make the transition is because route running. And Hamilton has it, so maybe he should go higher in this. Some drop problems, so maybe that's why he drops a little bit. Okoronkwo to the Steelers, outside linebacker, Oklahoma. He's a 3-4 outside linebacker. Bud Dupree hasn't lived up to his expectations, even though he can play, and he stepped up last year. I think they look for another guy. You never could have enough pass rush. I think, like I said with Arden Key, there's other guys. There's not that many true 3-4 outside linebackers. I think Okoronkwo is another one. He's undersized. I think that's why teams don't like him in the first. But he's a freak player, gets to the quarterback. The Steelers need inside linebacker help, but really none here. Again, you could get an upgrade here outside linebacker. The Jags at 61 go Colt Miller, offensive lineman from UCLA. Good offensive tackle, good athleticism out of him. He could, another guy that can sneak in the first round, big range. Maybe the Jags don't pass on him. They got Norwell the guard. Maybe they get another tackle in there. 62, the Vikings get Rashawn Golden, cornerback from Tennessee. Like Dante Jackson, another one of those slot corners, nickel corners that also can play outside. Maybe once viewed as a third or fourth rounder. I think these guys have tremendous value because there's not that many of them. Golden, physical guy too, very good in the run game, coming up, reading plays, making a tackle. I think Zimmer will like this guy. I think losing Newman, I think they'll like to have a guy like Golden, him and Mackenzie Alexander playing the slot. They have obviously Rhodes and Wayne staying outside. But the fact that he can play outside as well helps them too, because we've seen Rhodes come out of games, and then Mackenzie Alexander, Terrence Newman have to go there, but those guys are like strictly slot guys. The fact that a guy like Dante Jackson or Golden can also help you outside is a big win. I think Zimmer will need to get a defensive back like this within the first 2 rounds, just because it's Zimmer. 63, the Patriots, a little bit of wild card. Patriots go Rashad Penny, running back, San Diego State. This guy's a beast. He really can do it all. Got great moves, can break tackles. Very good after contact. According to Pro Football Focus, he is much better. I know he played weaker competition, but he's much better at the line of scrimmage after contact than Saquon Barkley even. But if Big Ten defenses versus Mountain West defense, big difference. Understandable. Not saying Penny's better than Barkley. But he can catch the ball to the backfield as well. I think he's a Patriots type of running back. I think there's other ones that are maybe Patriots type of running backs in the 3rd or 4th round, but they can scoop him up here. I was thinking about Nick Chubb because people view him as a 2nd rounder. I think he could drop maybe because his lack of action in the receiving game. Not that he can't do it, but I think the Patriots will like Penny more as a fit. It's an option there. And the Browns with the last pick of the 2nd round go to Deshaun Elliott, safety from Texas. Guy gets interceptions. Guy's good at reading plays. He flies all over the field. Looks way faster on the field than he did timing. Not that he was slow or anything, but the Browns missed out on a safety. Maybe they go make a Fitzpatrick with the 4th pick, but I didn't have him going there, so they get a safety here with Elliott come in there and play right away with possibly Jabril Peppers. So that is the 2-round mock. Maybe I discussed some guys that dropped out. If you have any questions on why a guy dropped out, because we did have some surprising ones, feel free to ask in the comments. I'll break it down. Another one that was big was Deion Kane, wide receiver in Clemson, who I love his film. Pro Day was not good, drops the ball, inconsistent drops, so he drops out, unfortunately, but I do like him. But yeah, other guys like that, feel free to ask where they're at maybe. I left out Billy Price. Some people saying he's not going to be ready for training camp. Some people saying that he is. So if he's healthy, he's worthy of a late first rounder. For sure worthy of a second rounder. I kept him out because I know we've seen teams overreact because of injuries. Miles Jack comes to mind, but way more than that. So guys drop for that reason. So if a guy like that drops, then Billy Price will drop. We need to know more about his injury. Maurice Hurst is this guy. He's good. It's really a shame, the heart condition. He's easily a top 15 player. 3 technique, defensive tackle. Not similar to Vita Vea, so you can't really compare the two. I really like Maurice Hurst. I like him a lot. He's easily a top 15 player, like I said. We need to know more about his heart condition. Apparently Michigan found it as well, but they're hiding it. It's a whole mess over there. So we need to know more on him. Anybody else I'm missing here? Feel free to ask if you think of somebody. Orlando Brown, still not sure on him with the combine. Some teams are going to probably grade him early day 3. Some teams may still view him as late first rounder. I don't know. So I kept some guys out. There's plenty of other talent here. This draft class has some good depth. I like day 2, as I discussed before. Feel free to ask questions about this mock. We got plenty of other 7-round mocks to come. Trying to get through all those teams this week. Plenty other coverage all year round covering the NFL. Plenty on the channel already. Check it out if you haven't already, but please like, subscribe if you haven't done that already too. But if you do like and subscribe, then we love you here at Frogs and Angels. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.